Hi, so just a quick review on the new TaylorMade Sim 2 Titanium 3-wood. I've recently got one of these and I'm going to go through some of the benefits of it in its own right and also up against the normal Sim 2. This comes in at about 329, so I want to see if there's much of a difference between that and the normal one, which is 249, because that'll be a choice that a lot of people will be kind of deciding between. Just a few details on this. Titanium head, which allows them to make the center of gravity really low, so they get a high launch and a low spin head. It just basically enables them, the lack of weight in titanium allows them to position weights inside the structure exactly where they want and with more freedom than it does on a steel head. The steel head's actually slightly bigger. This is a slightly smaller profile head. It sits really nicely against the ball is the first thing I should say, and that's probably one of the reasons I went for it, because I don't like anything to look closed. This sits absolutely square. To be fair to the other one, the Sim 2, it sits pretty square as well, but there was something about this one that I just liked, and I got wind that also some of the tour pros were using this as well, so I thought this is the one I'll go for a change. Up to now I've just had normal 3-woods titanium this time, just to see if there was any difference. And so far, I do feel it is a difference, but I'm going to hit some today and just see if it works out that way, because I haven't hit it head to head against the Sim 2 standard one either. So I'll try and hit a few and see how we get on. Felt a bit right, but we'll see. First shot of the day. Need to make sure I'm out of the way of the 267. It's a good start. Now, bear in mind, my normal 3-wood on this up to now, well, I did have a Callaway Sub-Zero 16 degree, which was kind of a 4-wood really. I was struggling to get more than about 250 out of it. And this is what I'm finding with this one. It basically is a rocket. It just goes off like nothing else. And it seems so easy. Even on the course, it's kind of catching up with quite a few of the drivers that I've been trying, and you kind of feel like, what's the point of a driver when you hit this? But we'll see if it keeps going like that. Don't know if it was as good as a strike. Maybe a bit hooky, maybe out the toe. We got out of that 247, yeah, wasn't quite as good. What's the carry? 220 or something. Not terribly great on that, because it wasn't a brilliant strike. That felt a wee bit better. $259 and I'm getting 236 carry. So these are all 10 yards at least further than I expect to get. And here on this machine, if I get 250 with a 3-wood, I'm happy. It's exceeding it every time. I think it was good. A little bit left. 259 again. See, I'd be happy with that. Good, I think. Oh, a little bit to the right this time. I'm getting sick of hooking it. And that's interesting, 260 off one that didn't go left. Because sometimes when it goes left, obviously the ball seems to go a bit further, you get a bit de-lofted and it kind of runs on, but that was good for one that went a little bit right. Felt a bit right as well. A couple of heel strikes. This is the great thing with my swing, you get all manner of different strikes from one swing to the next. Deliberately, of course, just for testing purposes. Right, let's see what we get this time. The lottery of strikes. Again, a little bit cut, I think. Yeah, 250, so it wasn't a great strike. But you know, my averages is coming out quite good with this. I'm quite impressed with it. Should mention the shaft. In this one I've got the Tensite AV Series 65 S Flex. Yeah, just standard length, and I've got it set on 15 degrees. And so far I think my best 267. Let's see if I can get anything more out of that. If I get one more of that, I'll try the other one, see what we get. I mean, really, other things to think about. I'm getting a nice flight with it when I'm out in the course. It's a nice high-ish flight, but it's not too high. You know, I'm playing in Scotland on linksy courses. I don't want the ball to go really, really high. I've never kind of really wanted that with a 3-wood. Want the ball to go as far as possible. I kind of want it to run when it lands. You know, it's rare that you need to have all carry when you're playing kind of links courses to get to a par 5. A lot of the time there's an entrance with bunkers to either side, and you're not having to fly it all the way. So you kind of want it to run. You don't want a massively high flight. So even though this says high launch, low spin, which is a good combination for distance, it isn't too high. Definitely isn't too high. 256. That felt good. Sounded good. And just see what that one does. Can't always tell with strikes, but 265. Right, so that's getting up now. So 265, 267 seems to be my best with that. So let's try the Sim 2 Max, and this has the Ventus stiff Fujikura in it, standard shaft. It's 15 degrees again. Okay, so let's have a go with the Sim 2 Max. New set of results. I'll put the results of the other one up on the screen. A little bit out the bottom, bit thin, very thin. Well, I didn't realise it was that thin. So you see where I topped it on my first shot. Nearly a top there as well. Wonder why that is. Maybe the shaft doesn't suit me. .245. Basically what I find with most of the normal ones is that I'm around about this 245, 250 mark in here. That was a good one. Oh, a lovely shot. I wish I could hit them like that all the time. 245. This is the thing. 250, 245 with the steel-headed variant. And then with the same swing, hopefully, or same batch of swing. Usually this one's been going further. Felt a wee bit better. Pushed a wee bit. Again, it's up near 263, so it's virtually never get there. If we go back to the Sim 2 again, just some of the non-titanium version. I think it was okay, it was maybe a bit toey. The 252, that's a good one off that. And then let's just wrap it up here so this review doesn't go on too long. That's better. Do you know what? It goes further. I don't know about being more forgiving, because I think it probably is. It is a bit more forgiving with the titanium. I'm sure it has to be, but I haven't fully tested that out yet. And anyway, there's a wee bit of, you know, pilot error in there when you don't hit 3 woods. You're hitting a long club, it's a big swing, things can go wrong. But the sound this makes, the look of it, the feel of it, I suppose, which is the sound, I just much prefer it to the Sim Max. the standard one. It's a nice club, the other one. It looks a bit bigger when you put it down, almost looks a wee bit too big for me for a 3-wood. I like to have something a wee bit more compact so that when the lie's not that great, it feels a wee bit more maneuverable, that you can get it into those little, you know, you're on a downhill slope or the ball's slightly sitting down. The smaller head just feels like you can get at it a bit more than the bigger head. But I do actually like the Sim Max too. I think it's a good club. And it makes quite a decent noise as well, but you can tell the difference. When you hit the titanium one and you hit the steel one, you can tell straight away which one you're hitting. I think if you were blindfolded and still managed to hit, you'd be able to tell from the noise. It's just a slightly more responsive noise it makes. As I said, it sits really nicely. The feel's good, the distance is good, and I'm sure the dispersion will be slightly better even than that. But I mean, that's, again, like I said, you can hit them offline no matter how good the, you know, resistance to twisting is. You're only going to get away with so much. So yeah, I would thoroughly recommend this. I think it's an absolute beauty of a club. I've seen some reviews where some guys are just hitting it absolutely ridiculous distances. But for me, hitting a 3-wood anywhere near 270 on this machine, not outside, because this machine doesn't really flatter you, the Skytrack in here. That's a good bit further than I'm used to hitting, and I'm really looking forward to using this. And it may even get out a lot more than my previous 3-wood or 4-wood did, replacing my driver on tee shots where I'm not particularly happy. So yeah, thoroughly recommend it. You should go out and try one and see what you think. Okay, thanks very much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, it'd be great if you could, and I'll see you in the next review.